In a village where the rooftops were covered in climbing roses, there lived a girl named Iris. Iris had a cloud of soft black curls and the kind of eyes that noticed everything. But lately, something was wrong. Every night, Iris would close her eyes and wait for a dream to come, and every night, nothing. Just dark. Just quiet. She hadn't dreamed in 7 whole nights. One morning, Iris told her grandmother. Her grandmother smiled in a knowing way and said, "When I was a girl, there was a well in the old garden at the edge of the village. They called it the Dream Well. People said that all dreams began there, that they rose from the water like bubbles and floated into the sky to find the people who needed them. Is it still there?" Iris asked. "It's still there," her grandmother said, "but no one has visited it in a very long time." That evening, just as the sky turned violet, Iris walked to the edge of the village. Behind a low stone wall covered in ivy, she found it, an old garden, overgrown and wild. Flowers had tangled together, vines had swallowed the path, and in the very center stood a stone well with a little wooden roof. Sitting on the edge of the well, perfectly still, was a tortoise. He was old, very old, with a dark, mossy shell and slow, kind eyes the color of honey. "You're here about the dreams?" the tortoise said, in a voice like warm stones. Iris blinked. "How did you know?" "Because," said the tortoise, "the well has been waiting. My name is Moss. I've been its keeper for 100 years." Iris peered over the edge of the well. It was deep and dark, and at the bottom, where there should have been water, there was only dry stone. "The water dried up," Moss said slowly. "Dreams need the water to rise. Without it, they stay trapped underground with nowhere to go. How do we bring the water back?" Iris asked. Moss blinked his honey eyes. "Dreams are made of memories, child, happy ones. The well needs someone to remember, really remember, the things that made them feel warm." Iris sat on the edge of the well, closed her eyes, and began to remember. She remembered the smell of her grandmother's kitchen, cinnamon and warm bread. She remembered the sound of rain on the roof while she read stories in bed. She remembered her father lifting her onto his shoulders so she could pick apples from the tallest branch. And as she remembered, something stirred deep below, a sound, soft and far away, like water finding its way through stone. Iris opened her eyes and looked down. Far below, a faint shimmer appeared. Then a trickle. Then a soft, silver glow rising, 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 until the well was filled with the most beautiful water she had ever seen. It wasn't ordinary water. It shimmered with colors that didn't have names, and when Iris looked into it, she could see tiny shapes drifting just below the surface, dreams waiting to be set free. And then, one by one, the dreams began to rise. They floated up out of the well like soap bubbles made of moonlight, soft, round, and glowing. Each one held a tiny world inside. A castle in the clouds, a boat on a purple sea, a field of butterflies, a sleeping dragon curled around a pile of books. Up and up they floated into the violet sky, drifting over the rooftops toward the sleeping village. Moss smiled, a slow, wide tortoise smile that took its time arriving. "You did it, child. The dreams will find their way now." Iris knelt down and gently rested her hand on his mossy shell. "Will you be here tomorrow?" "I've been here 100 years, Moss said. "I'm not going anywhere fast." Iris laughed, and it was the kind of laugh that sounded like it had been waiting to come out for 7 whole nights. Iris walked home through the quiet village. Above her, dream bubbles drifted silently over the rooftops, slipping through open windows and settling softly onto the pillows of sleeping children. The whole village seemed to sigh with contentment. Iris climbed into bed, pulled the covers to her chin, and closed her eyes. And this time, a dream came. It was soft and warm and golden, and it smelled of cinnamon and rain. Somewhere in the dream, a tortoise was smiling. "Good night, Iris," the night seemed to whisper, and Iris smiled in her sleep, all through the long, sweet, dreaming night.